We are on. What's up, guys? It's the Cruzin Podcast. We're back. It's been we were talking about this before.
It's been 10 years.
It's been 10 years. We were on a hiatus. It's been I think it's been like 3 months. Our last episode was late July on The Last Airbender. The show, the series, not the movie. Well, and the movie. We talked about the movie too.
Yes.
We took a break. If you haven't noticed now, well, for our listeners that are listening and not watching, we set up a new studio. We set up a new space for our YouTube for you guys that are watching.
In our basement.
Here, we are hiding.
In our basement.
We're somewhere, but we're here. The new setup. Cruzin Podcast. We're happy to be back. It's been some time. We've been working on this here and just really dedicating all our time to this. And we didn't want to give you guys like a half-ass podcast in between or anything like that. And we really wanted to give it, just take that break, set this up, work on a consistent schedule for the streaming and everything like that. And so we're officially back. This is it. It feels really good being in here. We have this nice table. And we're going to we're going to hit breaks. We're going to keep, evolving as we go. And we're back. So in case you guys are wondering, hey, what happened to Cruzin Podcast? Where did they go? Where did they go? Where did they go?
Drama,
yeah. Did something happen? Did they get
videos.
canceled? Did something happen? No, we're setting this up. We're back. It's exciting. And it's been a while. I feel like there's been some
false rumors going around.
The first thing, we missed a lot, right? So The Matrix trailer came out.
Spider-Man.
The Spider-Man, that was probably the biggest one. The Spider-Man trailer came out. We have been watching movies. We saw Shang-Chi. We saw.
We didn't watch Candyman.
We did not see Candyman.
What
did we see before that?
We saw Ghost in the Shell yesterday.
We saw Ghost in the Shell yesterday,
IMAX.
the original anime, the 95 anime, which is pretty great.
IMAX, which is great.
Yeah, that was cool.
Not that shit.
That
movie we got.
That was so good.
That was my first time watching it.
That was set in 95, and it reminded me a lot of the Neuralink stuff with Elon Musk. That stuff that he wants to put that Neuralink in your head for it stores information or something. It's like this whole...
Yeah, not a good idea.
It's this whole other gateway that it's inevitable. We're going to get into it, but this movie, that Ghost in the Shell, the anime, really got into that. And how you can hack into that stuff. You can create false memories in people. It's really good. It's a really good anime movie. Yeah. The soundtrack was amazing. And it made me, I want to watch it again. It made me want to look into the other stuff that they have on it as well. So that was cool. And what I really wanted to just get into is obviously the Matrix 4 and also Spider-Man, because we have some thoughts on both. And, I'm sure people were hungry. Hey, what do they think? Where's Cruzin? I see them streaming. They're not doing podcasts anymore. Did they quit? Are they done?
Did they break up?
Are they like Daft Punk, We should have made a video like a Daft Punk or something,
Helmets.
Yeah, with the helmets. But no. So we have been keeping up with all that stuff. And basically, the Spider-Man trailer, I think, was amazing. That was great. I love what they're doing with... I can't say I love it yet, but I think the trailer is really well done.
Toby and Andrew are not in that movie.
Toby, if you're watching this...
It's not going to work.
I like the trailer. It's a great trailer. And, the hype... Again, it got leaked. That's another thing. We didn't even get to talk about the leaks or not. There was leaks.
Well, a shitty leak.
And then the leaks came out, and then they had to release the trailer. That's what it seemed like, at least. They released it at 10 p.m. on a Sunday. It didn't seem very planned, and I think it was just because of the leaks. We did see the leaks. Remember, we saw the video, and the Alfred Molina came out as Dr. Octavius.
And the CGI wasn't even done.
Yeah, so that was
a working trailer.
That's my thing with that. That must have been an old... that must have been old footage, and then they decided to release it just before maybe for money or something. I don't know, because I'm pretty sure if
Right.
they released that as they were editing that trailer, they would have caught the person right away. You know,
It's just they waited too long to release it.
I mean, the hype. The movie comes out in December, and the trailer came out maybe a month ago.
Wasn't it a
We're in
few-
September.
Wasn't it a few weeks ago?
Yeah, we'll say a month. We'll say a month. I feel like it's been a month already.
Yeah, I feel like it was really not that long ago.
They released that, but that's in August. Let's say we'll say August, September, October,
Go on
November.
YouTube and you'll
4
find
months
it.
before the movie comes out. Usually, we're getting the first trailer of a movie 8 months, sometimes a year in advance.
Like Batman.
Yeah, Batman, we got a trailer. So they really were keeping quiet on this movie for a long time, and it was building hype on its own, which was great. I thought
Even
that
though
was
the
really good
trailer,
hype.
I was kind of questioning some of the.
Yeah, we're gonna get into that now, but I did like the hype. I almost didn't even. We're so close that I didn't even. I wouldn't. If they said we're not gonna do a trailer, I would have been fine with that. But obviously, for marketing reasons, they have to.
Came out, there's more leaks.
Yes, but so in that aspect, I wanted to say if there was no trailer, I would have been okay with that, because imagine more the level of hype, because the hype was just built on its own, you know. And then the trailer confirms that.
Endgame for trailer views.
It did.
Which
Rightfully
is
so,
pretty,
man.
Which is
We're talking Toby possibly coming back.
No, I'm gonna say this: if Toby and Andrew are not in the movie, people won't like the movie as much.
It's too much hype around it.
If they're
The
not
hype
in the-
is mostly
no,
about
because
that.
You have Tobey Maguire's villains in the movie.
Yeah, you have Dr. Octavius from Spider-Man 2 back.
Green
you have
Goblin,
Green Goblin, which
is
sounded like
Willem
Willem Dafoe.
That's William Dafoe.
And then you have Electro from Andrew Garfield's Spider. So you're clearly bringing these different villains from these different Spider-Man
and
movies.
If the film is supposed to be like, oh, that's their Peter Parker, it's like Tom Holland.
Yeah, so
that's not gonna go well because you're taking away from the previous. Spider-Man
that's
films.
one thing that for some weird reason, I feel like might be a possibility. I think everybody's really hyped about but it's such a big opportunity here. Sony / Marvel, I think more Sony.
That's a cool idea.
They have they're sitting on the winning lottery
I
ticket.
find that weird because they never for Spider-Verse they wanted Tobey Maguire to come back and they said no for something.
He said no, or did the
I
studio
think
say no?
the studio they didn't agree to it because and they wanted Tom Holland in it too.
And they said
and
no.
Something no. I think
Doesn't that kind of make sense?
Because then they want Andrew
They
Garfield.
toyed around with it. They toyed around with the idea.
It's the
They wanted all of
Spider-Verse.
them, and it didn't
I
go
think
through.
Something I know for Tom Holland, they said no because of Marvel. They don't want to confuse people. If it was canon or something like too.
But which is true, especially now that Tom Holland's Spider-Man is going through a multiverse.
I really hope after this one, Sony gets him only. And I know I'm kind of done with him being in like Marvel. I kind of want Tom Holland to be Tom Holland, like his own film.
Yeah, and after this movie, I think that's where they're headed.
Because like I like the what's his name, Strange.
Doctor Strange. I like that whole aspect.
Cool,
yeah.
Even though I kind of question
The trailer, how his character seems in the trailer, I didn't believe that.
I really hope they don't make him go dumb just for the sake of the film.
Yeah, him saying, "Yeah, I'll do that spell for you." That was questionable.
He's always been like, no, like
He's always been very disciplined.
Yeah, like
He's the best at what he does.
No, and he's messed around with. Didn't he mess around with the time stone in the first one that kind of fucked up?
The first one, yeah,
everything?
he's kind of similar in Tony Stark in that sense. In the first one, he's very douchey. He didn't really.
Yeah, but and then he
learned. Yeah,
and then he learned the hard way that.
And he became worthy and all that stuff. You know, the usual storyline. But
because Infinity War, he was pretty.
Infinity War, he was very disciplined. He didn't tell anyone. He knew what had to happen.
Fight scene with Thanos. I saw it again.
Yeah, but then you go from that, and then here he's like winking at Peter and like, "Oh, don't worry, I'll help you out."
Yeah, I don't know.
When that seems very.
But I don't think that's a villain being disguised though.
No, I don't think that either. Maybe there's more context in the movie. Maybe I
don't know. I hope because I'd be kind of dumb.
But I do think the trailer was great. They are sitting on a perfect opportunity here.
If they're not in the movie, that's
gonna hurt the movie a lot.
No,
a lot of the hype it's not about Tom Holland. A lot of the hype is about the idea of Toby, Andrew Garfield, and Tom Holland together. And I think that's like, it's hard to say. I feel like half the hype is that all three of them together. But I think
that's most of the hype.
I think Tobey Maguire is the biggest
because he
draw.
never got his
and everybody's nostalgic. That's everybody's Spider-Man.
He's
Tobey
my-
Maguire.
he's my favorite Spider-Man.
That's if his soundtrack comes back on in that movie,
and
that's
him
childhood.
fighting Doc again.
That's everybody's childhood, and him.
Which I actually like his look in the trailer. He has the kind of like the video game.
Yeah.
The gaming side.
But that Tobey Maguire, that's everybody's childhood Spider-Man, and you bring him back, and you have him mentoring the news, and you have him mentoring Tom Holland. Then you have Andrew Garfield,
kind of like passing on.
And you're closing his story. You can close Andrew Garfield's storyline. Because, again, those two franchises, they didn't get a good, solid closing.
But Andrew Garfield.
Spider-Man 4 was supposed to happen. It fell through. The Andrew Garfield movies were messy. But, he couldn't finish his either. This could be their closing and then sending off Tom Holland.
Sort of like The Flash. Or the Batman.
Flash is doing the same exact thing. You have Michael Keaton and Ben Affleck. Michael Keaton was supposed to get a third one.
Which I never understood why.
Something fell off.
Then he said no?
Yeah, I think he just didn't want to.
Because Birdman kind of like...
Something that he just didn't want to. And I'm not sure what it was.
Well, we're kind of going off topic. Because, like Birdman... Yeah. It was kind of about that. Like, he never, he kind of regrets not doing that third Birdman movie.
Yeah, I don't know what it was, but there was something weird there.
Because I know when Birdman came up, people were like, it's just like him referencing,
yeah, maybe.
To the Batman, how he never did the third.
Maybe, but it's interesting because Flash is the same, almost the same. It's weird how DC and Marvel, with their movies is very close.
Because I want to say on the Spider-Man, but real quick on the Flash, because I heard something about it was like the Flash Batman thing. What is it?
Yeah, red
that red Batman,
red suit or something like that. Yeah, because basically
I forgot the name of it.
It's so similar because the Flash movie, it's gonna have Michael Keaton's Batman.
Yeah, because that picture just showed it was like the Flash.
It's the suit,
but it was mostly the Batman.
Yeah, it was the suit it's gonna be Michael Keaton's Batman and Ben Affleck's Batman coming back, and it's very similar to Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire because Michael Keaton, he was very successful. He didn't get that third movie or last movie.
Ben Affleck's never,
and then Ben Affleck was in 2 movies. He was good as the character, but his movie, the movies were messy. It fell off. He has a great. So it wasn't as successful as the other ones. And Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield is the same thing. Tobey had a good franchise.
They were supposed to do Spider-Man 4, but then they scrapped and did Amazing Spider-Man.
Exactly, and then the Amazing Spider-Man movies didn't last that long. And it's kind of similar to Ben Affleck and Michael Keaton. And then Flash is the Spider-Man-ish character going through the multiverse. They're both they seem very similar. So that should be interesting.
If they're not in it, it's going to hurt. It's going to be oh, really?
Yeah.
I feel like, at least for me, I feel like if they're not in it, I'll kind of take away my enjoyment of the film just for the sake
There's too much hype on
because
it's a missed opportunity.
Because I'm going to be looking at Doc Ock. I was like, but he's fighting Tom Holland. That's not his Peter Parker.
Yeah. It would be a very a huge missed opportunity because that's your only chance. This is your only chance.
You have Green Goblin, Doc Ock coming back. I think because Venom is.
No, there's no Venom. Did you see what
Sandman in it?
Did you see what Topher Grace said?
Wait a minute, Sandman might even be in it. Right?
Yeah, there was some references about that.
And supposedly, was that Lizard? So Lizard might be in it as well.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure they're gonna
because I think they're teasing Sinister Six.
But did you see what Topher Grace said? Eric Foreman. They asked him on Reddit, is your Venom gonna be in No Way Home? And he made up a whole fake scene. He's like, yeah, don't tell anyone, but pretty much I come in with Tom Hardy's Venom, and then I kick his ass, and then I go and he made up this whole lie. It was actually pretty funny. He wrote it. He replied to a fan on Reddit. He was doing a Q&A.
I think I read a little bit. I didn't read
it was pretty fun. He's always he just trolls about it. He knows. Yeah. But if they don't, it's gonna be such a missed opportunity, and I feel like that's gonna turn fans off because a lot of the hype is about this idea of a multiverse.
Have you seen all the artwork that fans were posting, all 3 of them and stuff?
The only thing that's confusing, and I think this could just be Sony that they're just kind of just going with the flow, is how they already have a Spider-Verse movie. And we've talked about this before. They already have Into the Spider-Verse. Remember, we were like, they shouldn't do another multiverse thing because the animated movie has that already. And they kind of are doing that. I
think they might integrate it with both.
I hope not. Well, I guess they can.
Because they want to bring Miles Morales to the live action.
No. But I'm saying the animated movie. Because remember, Miles Morales already exists in the live action.
He does?
It's, the uncle is Donald Glover.
Oh, shit. I forgot about that.
So that's why I'm saying.
I haven't seen Homecoming in a while.
So they're not the same. So that's what's weird. I'm sure that Into the Spider.
I don't know.
But now you're gonna have to.
I'm confused.
I do think No Way Home is a one and done. Obviously, the MCU has the whole multiverse opened up.
But
I think with Spider-Man,
I think Spider-Man is a one and done.
Like the multiverse thing.
Because what I'm hoping for is after this movie, I kind of hope Sony does their own thing with Tom Hardy, Venom, and their characters. Because I'm kind of tired of him always having to be kind of like with a Marvel character.
Yeah. Yeah, he's always being he has like this babysitter with him all the time.
Yeah, I'm kind of like over
it was
that.
Tony Stark, now it's Doctor Strange.
I just want him in New York only, just
fighting Venom,
like fighting villains. I'm kind of
which I don't know how that would work with Venom, but
yeah,
because Tom Holland's Venom is technically not really a villain.
But maybe this movie he kind of.
Unless Sony does have the balls to do it.
But wait a minute, because Venom kind of like takes over your mind, right? Or I don't know.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Unless Sony has the guts to go and actually make Tom Hardy,
gonna happen to make him turn to a villain.
But then they're making him too likable. Look at the trailer for the new movie. It's all jokey and he's too likable. So that when you have him against Tom Holland, is it gonna be?
Or maybe it's gonna be something where.
Unless they go dark with it,
or maybe Venom leaves him, like how he went to the girl, he goes into someone else.
Maybe, but then how does that work movie wise?
Because Venom went into the girl, and the first Venom, the she Venom.
Yeah,
maybe something like that.
Yeah,
or maybe his mind gets poisoned by him. To go like kind of like Carnage,
because
how
Venom,
Woody Harrelson goes kind of crazy.
Yeah, but then it's like Venom is Eddie Brock, Unless unless he goes batshit crazy. The cool way to do it,
because he eats people.
Yeah, the cool way to do it, I think, would be just give him this.
We gotta watch this new Venom movie that comes out.
It comes out next week.
Is it?
Yeah, October 1st.
Oh wow,
it's like soon. But I think for the Venom movie. Because he's very likable. It's very like comedy.
We watch this movie.
He's like an anti-hero.
Because remember, he was wearing that hat. He was wearing the No Way. Is it No Way Home?
Yeah.
Or Far From Home, whatever it's called.
But I do think what I would do, what would work is if they get
into a villain.
Tom Hardy, give him this character arc where yes, he starts off like kind of confused, conflicted. He has Venom, but maybe take it into this tragedy. Have him go dark, and then that's where it leads to Spider-Man. But are they going to do that? Probably not, because it's Tom Hardy, and it's like, he's likable.
But I'm sure Tom Hardy would want to do that.
I'm not saying him, but I'm saying the studio, he's already likable.
Because my guess, I'm just spitballing, maybe like something like his girlfriend dies, not his girlfriend, but the girl he likes dies.
Right, yeah.
And then makes him go down.
Take him go down this really dark hole, but I don't think the studio's going to do that. They want to bank on his character being a likable anti-hero. Are they? Yeah, eventually him and Spider-Man will fight, but I don't know why I feel like it's going to be like this. Like they fight and then they get along.
Like Godzilla, King Kong.
But that's not what Venom is, though. From what at least maybe I'm wrong. You guys can tell us otherwise.
Speaking of Spider-Man, look at the game. They announced, by the way, Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, Spider-Man 2
2023, and Venom
looks like a straight villain.
Looks like a straight.
That's the thing
villain.
with that character. You either have to go in him as a straight villain, because if not, then now you're in this situation.
Even if they fuck up in the movies, it's fine. I have the game.
So yeah, the game's gonna be great.
The game's gonna do it right.
That's the tricky part now, because they wanted to do a Venom solo movie. They're okay. They're not that. They're whatever. But now you made him into this anti-hero, like good guy. How do you have him fight Tom Holland? He would have to be a villain. And if you do this whole thing that they fight each other, but then not really, and let there be Carnage looks kind of weird. The trailer is weird.
And the movie's like what, an hour 30?
Yeah, the movie's an hour and a half. If you take out credits from that, it's probably an hour and 20 something minutes.
Dude,
that's pretty short.
Like that's fine, but at the same time, I'm kind of like worried it's gonna be just
what's
fucking
the story?
Rushed.
Yeah,
like it's gonna be doing. Like it's gonna be like just cutting like very quick.
Unless it's a very simple story.
What Carnage is here?
It's just about him and Carnage, and they're fighting each other. That's it. I feel like they're probably not even trying to build off anything.
But what the fuck are they doing with that? Like, was that gonna lead to anything?
Is it?
Because
Andy Serkis.
Is Morbius a Spider-Man villain?
He's supposed to be in the same universe, apparently. Which I don't know when that comes out.
He is, because Michael Keaton is in it.
Yeah, he comes out saying something.
What's up, Doc?
Yeah.
And it shows Spider-Man in the background, like villain.
Yeah.
Or something like that. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck they're doing.
I don't know. The only thing is...
My only thing is Tom McGuire has to be in it. and Andrew Garfield, because if they're not in it, that's just gonna suck.
Yeah,
I won't say it sucks, but
it's gonna let down people. A lot of the hype is around that.
It's gonna be kind of like disappointing.
It's a missed opportunity.
Because you have William Dafoe and this other guy back.
It would be a missed opportunity.
Come
on. But let's see. You know, the whole Venom thing. I feel like that's way down the road. I think that's when Sony's already like on their own. Yeah. So that, you know, it comes out so soon that I'm surprised. I imagine just no trailer. That would have been so cool. But no studio would ever do that.
No. Because
they have to market it. They have to pull people in that maybe aren't into,
people who don't have social media.
You know,
who don't have that, like who don't.
But man, it's gonna be crazy, and it's coming out in theaters, and just imagine that moment if Toby comes out, with his theme.
Yeah,
the reaction.
To be honest, I care more about Toby than Andrew Garfield. I can't care about.
Yeah, him. I would like both of them to come back.
I want them both, but I like more the Toby.
Obviously, I mean, it's Toby Maguire, man.
He's got to do the dance.
If they can get that meme of all of them doing the dance together, as Doctor Strange and all of them, they're like.
No. Yeah, you have to take out Strange. Only the 3 Spider-Man.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I want them to, but my gut feeling is telling me that they're not going to be in it.
My god, that would be such a big letdown.
I have a feeling they might not be in it. I don't think. just because it's Marvel.
That would be a big letdown.
Because it's in the Marvel universe. Maybe something.
No, because where I think Sony's going with this is they said we'll do one more movie. We use Doctor Strange for the multiverse. We get to do this crazy thing with the multiverse, and then we can have Spider-Man. Now there's that possibility. You have this world where Spider-Man can go in and out. Other one too, because it's coming out the same month. It's going to be battling, and I think this is a mistake from Warner Brothers. Matrix 4 trailer came out not too long ago, and it's releasing around a few weeks before or after,
I think it's after.
No Way Home. That's a risky. It might be. That's a risky move, man.
That's stupid.
You're facing off against a huge Spider-Man movie.
No, literally the biggest movie of the year.
Yeah, and again, Matrix is big, but
no, Matrix is big.
The hype is nowhere near this right now.
It's nowhere near more like that level.
Yeah, it's
like Spider-Man is literally on that Endgame level of hype. It's literally on Endgame level of hype.
It is, and the Matrix 4 trailer was good. It looked cool. I have a lot of questions. Obviously, I'm confused. But damn it, Keanu should have cut his hair.
Whatever.
A lot of people are just saying it's just like John Wick in the Matrix, and people were making that theory of like, it's John Wick in the Matrix. That photo I
saw is true. Someone said, if you told me this was John Wick 4, I thought I would believe you.
It's true.
Because it looks like
it's him, because John Wick.
He's kind of almost wearing a suit again too. So
yeah, and the hair, and I get it because he was filming both back to back.
There's a leak. Again, another fucking leak.
Yeah.
The whole script is out. Like how did that happen? How do you leak the whole script of the movie?
Apparently, yeah. I mean, I don't look up that stuff. I
don't look at it. Because why?
But apparently, but yeah, a lot of people were like, "Oh, what if like it's just John Wick and the Matrix and they're merging them together?" He did have to film both of them at the same.
This guy playing what's his actor's name? Playing Morpheus.
Yeah, the guy. I forgot his name, but yeah, he's really good.
I was like, "Is this like what's his name? Fishburne?"
Yeah, he's playing a young Morpheus.
Dude, he looks just like him.
Yeah. And that's cool. Like the movie itself looks cool.
People are weird. Like because supposedly he said that they didn't even call him for Morpheus.
Yeah, maybe they just really didn't need him.
That sucks.
Which kind of sucks because you miss him in the trailer.
It's kind of like that Star Wars where you kind of want the original cast.
Yeah, and
that sucks.
It's
shot really well.
I with the Keanu Reeves thing, because this that and John Wick 4 were supposed to come out in the same weekend.
Yeah, but
they were both filmed at the same time. That's why I think he didn't cut his hair, because he was filming John Wick 4 and this, which makes sense.
No, yeah, I think he filmed Matrix 4, then went right after to John Wick.
So yeah, if it was
maybe it was the other way, he could have, but maybe. I think
he had.
But yeah, it makes sense.
Because the hair, man, and I who was it that said it? I think Dr. Disrespect said it.
Yeah.
As well, that the hair, he's gotta come back with the little buzz,
or maybe like just slick it back.
No, is that Neo? It was always about he had that spiky hair look.
There was a spike in the front and like the glasses.
That's the Neo look. Not even the glasses, but just at least the spiky hair or shorter hair. But the long hair, that's John Wick. That's the only thing.
And they're going all in on the power, like him throwing the missile.
It's almost which that was in the other ones, but
I kind of hope they don't do too much.
Yeah, where now CG is a huge. The sequels were
like the sequels he did. Well, he did the flying, and that's it.
But again, CG was limited at the time. There was some moves, there was some jumping, but I do think in this one they're gonna go all out. I hope it's good. I hope it's not
Trinity
another
has some type of power.
I just hope it doesn't.
Something.
It's not another. It's a sequel, but it's really a reboot type of thing.
Yeah.
And I feel like that might be the direction that they're going. But let's see.
Yeah, but
the trailer was solid,
and this girl looked the same, like the Trinity, like she.
Yeah, everybody looks great. The only thing is just Keanu Reeves' hair.
But I'm kind of worried about the outfits. Like, are they gonna go back to that like style, like in the original Matrix, like that cool, like I don't know the way they were dressed up in the original. Because I feel like that's what kind of made well, I just spit.
Is that what that was?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I landed on the laptop.
Yeah.
Jesus.
It just came out.
I thought it was a fly.
I was like, wow, that wouldn't like.
I thought
really...
that was a fly, but no, because that went.
Wow.
It gets in the drive.
It break the laptop.
No, but I mean everybody looks good. I think the story looks interesting because it's
I like the one part I really liked was the gun going through like the mirror.
Yeah, and what was interesting too, I think the storyline, because now where technology and society is now, right? Everybody's glued to their phones. And when the first Matrix came out, that wasn't really a thing. So now it's about everybody on their phones. It's a whole different idea of the simulation. That it's interesting to bring the movie back.
And the trailer, if you look at it, like I think some like people on the phones are watching the first Matrix movie.
Yeah, it's supposed to be very like self-aware, apparently. Yeah, it's gonna be weird, and that's fine. I just hope it's good.
It's only one of them doing it this time.
Yeah, one of the Wachowskis.
Because I think the other one said like he was kind of like he needed a break.
Yeah.
Because they did those two movies back to back. He said he needed I needed like a break.
Yeah, and apparently the storyline came from Lana Wachowski. Her dad passed away or something like that, and then I put it on the story on the page. The dad passed away, and then something that kind of brought up that idea of bringing back someone from the dead or bringing back someone that you love or something like that, and then that's what made her think of like Matrix 4 with Neo and Trinity. It was something like that. I have it saved here.
Because in the trailer, when Neo looks in the mirror, it shows a different person.
You made a person.
But so did he take control over like a different person?
Let me see. It's archived somewhere right here.
Yeah, because doesn't he die in part 3?
Here it is. So
well, they both die.
Yeah, why Neo and Trinity were resurrected for the Matrix 4. My dad died, then my mom. Oh, both.
Oh damn.
My dad died, and then my mom died one night. I was crying and couldn't sleep, and my brain exploded. This whole story. It was immediately comforting to have these two characters alive again. That's interesting.
Hopefully it's good.
So yeah, her mom and dad died.
Hmm.
And then that gave her the idea to bring back these two characters. That's interesting. Let's see. I hope it's good. The trailer was solid. It was a solid trailer. I'm a little on the fence because I don't want it to be another franchise that comes back and doesn't do well. Like a Force Awakens or all these. But let's see. I think it looks good. Again, now it's funny because before when Keanu Reeves was Neo at first, he was only that. But then he came back as this huge star again with John Wick. Now we only see him as John Wick. And then now it's like, oh, wait, now he's back as Neo, but we see him more as John Wick than,
Yeah.
So
hopefully it's good.
Hopefully it's good. They were both supposed to come out on the same weekend, which was funny.
Neil Patrick Harris is in it.
It looks solid.
Is he playing Agent Smith?
No, he's like a therapist or something like that. The other guy looks like to be playing. I hope it's good. The trailer, there's some parts of the dialogue I was like, oh, I hope this movie works. I hope the dialogue is not too cheesy, or I hope it doesn't try to come back and then try. I don't want it to try to be the Matrix. I want it to just be the Matrix. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Where it comes back and it's like modern stuff and the modern take on it with society, but then it's very like, oh, this is the Matrix. As opposed to what made the Matrix so cool was it was just the Matrix. That's it. Like,
yeah.
It didn't try hard. It just was.
I just hope the fight scenes are similar to the first one.
That too. I hope it's not a CG fest or anything like that. You know.
Like, I don't know, because what made the first one.
Yeah, the first one's a perfect movie.
So great was like, oh man, like that slow motion and the way they'll fight.
Yeah, the first movie was
and I know
perfect.
people hate the sequels. Like, they really, really hate them. I thought it was fine.
I gotta rewatch them.
I saw them recently, and I was like, like again, I had cool fight scenes. Part 3 had the epic fight.
It just
scene.
branches into something else.
No, because it wasn't really about the Matrix. It was more about like
outside the Matrix,
like the real world.
Which story-wise makes sense, but I guess people were so in love with the first Matrix, the idea of it.
Like what? They're gonna just keep going in the Matrix and do what?
Some people think it should have just ended at 1. But you know, if they have more story to tell, why not?
Yeah, but
it's like with Star Wars.
Because the first one ends, it kind of teases it, right? Doesn't it?
Yeah,
he flies away. He's the one,
and this whole other world,
and also too like
the real world.
Like you can't end it only on the first one because he flies away. He's like their hope that they needed to save.
Yeah, he knows who he is.
Yes, I don't know.
It branches out the story to a whole other level, and again, but people don't like because it's not staying the same. It's branching into something else, and you're learning story-wise. You're learning a lot more. I gotta rewatch them. We should rewatch them again, and kind of do like a whole thing for it when we watch the 4th one. Watch all of them, and then watch that one.
Yeah,
even though I do feel like, is this really gonna be a sequel, or is this kind of like a soft reboot? I do feel like it's a soft reboot, but I could be wrong.
You think they're gonna kill off Keanu again?
I don't know what they're going to do. I feel like it's going to be something where they're not really real. Like, they're stuck in the Matrix, and then they kind of have to move on. You know, like, we get to visit them again, and we kind of have to move on from them.
If they die, that would suck. Are you going to just kill them again?
And then, are they going to... I feel like this might be, like, their soft reboot where they bring in new characters, and maybe... Or maybe not. Maybe Lana Wachowski really is just doing this one more sequel because of what happened to her in her life.
I'm fine with one more.
Maybe.
Don't do another trilogy, man. Don't like hurt because the way movies are now.
Yeah, when you hear these franchises coming back, the way movies are
now, they're just gonna fuck it up, dude. They're gonna just fuck it up somehow.
But let's see, But yeah,
it looks cool. Hopefully, that dome scene I'm a little worried about because I feel like it's gonna cut a lot.
Yeah, I hope the action is as good as the original.
I hope it's not like another typical Hollywood like action where it just cuts.
Yeah,
like almost everything.
Maybe with Keanu there and his stuff with John Wick, maybe that'll apply more to this because he's always training for that stuff. So maybe that'll help the movie.
I really hope so because I really hope it's not. Yeah.
But let's see. Matrix 4, Spider-Man: No Way Home, to close out the year. Those are 2 big movies. 2 big movies.
Is there another big movie coming out?
Those are the 2 main ones. Venom, but... No, and 007.
That's next week too, right?
That's been trying to come out for the past year.
Wait,
but
3 years.
But other than that, that's pretty much it.
Top Gun.
Eternals. That's the Marvel stuff. But yeah, guys, we're going to wrap it up here. So we're excited to be back. And, we're going to have an episode out every Thursday. We're going to be streaming on Twitch Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And in between that, if there's like a trailer that came out, anything that's like, we got to talk about this now, we're going to just come on, talk about it, watch it, and all that stuff. So, yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching and for listening. If you're listening to us on our audio podcast, and be careful what you wish for, Parker.
That's William Dafoe, right?
Yeah, probably.
Oh, no, actually, I think it's like...
And Godspeed, Spider-Man. All right, guys. Till the next one. Goodbye.